the FM.
From Memorial Coliseum, it's IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne. Hello again, everyone. Brad Brown here, along with Randy Schiffman. IPFW coming off maybe their biggest win since joining Division I on Tuesday night, 64-59 over Utah State tonight. Tennessee Martin and the Skyhawks coming here to the Coliseum. Randy, everything seemed to go right for IPFW on Tuesday.
Best game they've played offensively, defensively, since they've been a Division I team. And the thing now, Brad, is they beat a team most people didn't expect them to beat. Now, the next game, they get a team, Tennessee Martin. Most people think they should be Tennessee Martin. This team hasn't won on the road, has 2 wins this year, neither against a Division I team. So the Dons probably the favorites tonight, an unusual role.
One of the things we see out of the Skyhawks coming in here tonight that we haven't really seen this season is a team with not much structure. They come down, a couple, 3 really good players. They're just going to get at it and go on the offensive end. Not a lot of plays, not a lot to this, but some very good players.
Controlled chaos, that's what the coaches call it. Controlled chaos, some people would call it playground-style basketball. Very unlike Air Force and Utah State that ran very structured offenses. These guys are going to rely on their athleticism, and they also will attack the boards. They average about 15 offensive rebounds a game. IPFW is going to have to do a lot of boxing out.
Jared Newsom, their leading scorer, 17 points, 9 boards, put up some pretty good numbers here early in the season.
Yeah, and the thing with him, when you watch him, they say he only uses his right hand. You'll notice his left hand is taped. It may not matter. They are going to try to force him to his left because he does everything to his right. He's not a really good outside shooter. He's going to go inside, try to take the ball to the glass, and create opportunities for himself because this team turns the ball over a lot, 19 times a game, and has very few assists. It's mostly one-on-one basketball.
David Simon, 16 points and 10 boards on Tuesday night. Finally, as he's gotten some minutes now, starting to come back, and the coaches say he's getting a little closer to 100%.
Yeah, he's about 85%, and also the best thing from Tuesday night was that he and Quentin Butler finally started playing well together. They meshed really well, and tonight they really think that those two are going to be extremely effective inside because the Skyhawks aren't very strong inside.
Okay, so the Dons going for 2 in a row here at home. Tennessee Martin and the Skyhawks the opponent. We'll take a look at the starting lineup. So when we come back here to Memorial Coliseum, you're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Hi. I was wondering if you wanted to go out maybe or something, if you had time.
I can tell by your excitable behavior and verbal faux pas that you have generalized anxiety with paranoid tendencies. It would never work.
Okay, thanks.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
This month on IPFW Up Close, we have a program that covers politics, new technology, and curing the blues. We'll learn who the real winners and losers were in the 2004 elections, how a new technology is allowing a local filmmaker to preserve her heritage, and how to recognize the signs of those holiday blues. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access, Channel 56.
Mastodon basketball, live from the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. This broadcast of IPFW Mastodon basketball is a production of IPFW Athletics in conjunction with UPN Fort Wayne.
Back here at Memorial Coliseum, IPFW and Tennessee Martin, our matchup tonight. Brad Brown and Randy Schiffman back here with you courtside. The Dons looking for back-to-back wins here on the home court. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's contest. We're going to start with Tennessee Martin first. The visitors coming in here with a record of 2-4 on the season and just a couple of wins, as Randy mentioned in the pregame, over non-Division I opponents. We'll start with IPFW's lineup. Well, we'll pick one or the other here. We'll start with Tennessee Martin. Tyler George, number 0, will be starting at guard along with Earl Bullock, number 2. The forwards will be Jared Newsom, number 1, and Chris Carter, number 33. And then the center, Cleve Woodfork, number 42, 6'9", and a junior. And we'll take a look at IPFW's.
Newsom, the man to watch out for, 17 points, 9 rebounds a game.
So there's the lineup for Tennessee Martin. Let's take a look at IPFW's lineup right now as we'll get the Dons going with Justin Hawkins and Quentin Butler, the forwards, Quentin Carruthers and Bo Bauer, number 5 and number 20 starting at guard, and of course the big man David Simon, 6'10", 265, and a senior, starting at center for fifth-year head coach Doug Knoll.
These are the guys they've been going with since Simon got back. You know, Brad, it doesn't sound like much, but if the Dons win tonight, they'll be 4-5, and they will surpass their win total for all of last season. 2 years ago, they won 9 games. They went 9-19. Looked like they were going to go strong last year, but they had all those troubles early in the season, something they're avoiding right now.
More of a psychological hurdle for them to clear at this point. So coming off of that big win, we'll see how they respond here in the first couple of minutes, see if they can come out and keep some of that intensity going that we really saw for the 40 minutes on Tuesday night out here in that solid performance overall. A little man-to-man defense for the Skyhawks in blue as we start things off. We'll see what the Dons do their first time down the floor. They go right into Simon. He finds Butler on the move. Quentin to the basket, misses it there. Had a good look. Comes up empty, though.
It's a little too hard off the glass. That's what they want to do, the high-low post. They think that Butler and Simon can score a lot inside.
Carter hits the shot for the Skyhawks, right down for their first 2 points. Put them on the
starter for them.
Kind of a different lineup than what we were told in our game notes coming out here, so we'll see what they come up with offensively.
Again, the Dons shot a lot of threes in the first half on Tuesday night. Tonight they hope to go inside a lot more in the first half.
Newsom, the steal on Hawkins, can't get the shot to fall. He'll get another chance on the baseline. Missed it. Simon clears the rebound, so the Dons fortunate to come up with the stop that time.
Pass definitely a 4-letter word to Mr. Newsom.
He took it himself, and we'll see quite a bit of that, I imagine, on the course of the evening. Simon from 15 misses. Rebound underneath, out of bounds, and the Dons will keep it.
Again, the Skyhawks are going to do a lot of one-on-one. You saw Newsom had the break, couldn't make the first one, got it back. It looked like the Skyhawks had numbers, but he just put up another quick shot.
Just over a minute gone. Dons looking for their first points. Get it into Simon again. Little bump on the baseline, and we'll have our first personal foul of the contest.
Neither of these teams, by the way, Brad, very good from the free throw line, both under 70%.
Bauer will trigger in. He'll take it deep to Hawkins. Set the offense from there. Score on the board. Simon.
Watching during warm-ups, he was shooting a lot of jumpers, and he was stroking it pretty well. He knows he has to extend his range to play in the NBA.
And on the baseline there, at the other end, is Cleve Woodfork.
He is their main inside scorer.
Stepping out a little, showing some of his range there as well. So the teams trade baskets. Brothers gets a little space, drive, dish. Butler can't handle it, though.
Butler wasn't ready for that one. He hit him right in the chest. He would have had an easy dunk, and he shook his head. He said, my bad. I knew I should have had that one. Great move by Carruthers.
So Butler's had a couple of chances early here, has come up empty. So we'll take a look at the Dons defensively here as Tennessee Martin brings it down. See if they set it up one time. Not something that we expect from them much. Woodford misses there. Simon another board. Couple early for him. Dons on the run. Bauer had that hot hand from outside in the first half of the Utah State game. Simon now from 17, missed it. Rebound, out of bounds, and off of Newsom.
3 jumpers early for David Simon. We're talking in the first 2 minutes. That's highly unusual.
Quite a bit.
I was expecting Bauer to take a couple shots early deep because, you know, you see if that hot hand still carries over to the next game.
Simon staying out at the top, and there it is. Bauer, 3, miss, rebound. Simon coming in, got on the rim, no ball. Second chance, though, and he scores.
Good work on the glass by David Simon. That looks similar to what we saw in the game here this afternoon with Greg Oden leading Lawrence North over Snyder in what was a terrific basketball game.
Had a crowd of almost 5,000 here at the Coliseum for some great high school basketball. 2 stragglers hanging around for this game. On the drive, they go to Woodfork again. He misses, but the foul on Simon.
Simon definitely bumped him with the chest there. Probably shouldn't have left his feet. He could have slacked off. That would have been a tough shot to make for Woodfork. Simon is so big and so athletic. If he just goes stride with the guy and puts his hands up, it's tough to shoot over him.
So we'll see some of this free throw shooting at work now. Woodfork just 43% on the season. And looked pretty good on that one.
That's the reverse jinx, Brad. You know, when you say, he's a great free, he hasn't missed for 6 months. Then they always miss it.
He'll get a second opportunity here.
So if he looked good on the first one,
rolls out of there. So 1 out of 2. The announcers jinx well at work early in this one. See if we can keep that up as the night goes on. 5-4. Skyhawks up 1. Just about 3 minutes gone here in the first half. Still showing man-to-man here on the defensive end. Hawkins and Newsom. That's a nice matchup out there, and it forces the turnover.
Yeah. Don's, their goal for the game is 7 turnovers or less. They didn't turn it over very much. Well, they turned it over early against Utah State, then went a long stretch without turning it over at all. Tennessee Martin averages 19 a game. That's very high. That's just about 1 every 2 minutes.
Those are big numbers that coaches do not like to see. On the drive there with the left hand, a miss there for Tyler George.
Not a chance on that one.
Don's on the move. Hawkins to the basket, lost it, tipped out again by Newsom.
Hawkins didn't play all that much the other night. He got banged up a little early. He looked like he hit his head again. You know, he had a problem with that earlier in the season, and he had that earlier in his career as well. But Peter Campbell, he came off the bench. Man, did he play well and hit some big shots, including a huge one in the last minute.
Hit the one that sealed it in the final minute from 3. Get the Dons that 5-point victory.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him coming early tonight if the offense keeps slacking a little.
Down by 1 here early. Both teams 2 of 6 from the floor. Down to 15 on the shot clock this time down. Carruthers working around to Bauer. Simon trying to post up. Newsom, another steal. He's out ahead of Carruthers. Nice little swat at the ball, though, by Quentin. And Bauer will come up with it.
And again, if you're one of his teammates, don't even look for him to pass the ball to you. It's just not going to happen.
He likes to keep it. Hawkins, Simon up. Good foul there.
They can almost call that an intentional foul because the man did not go after the ball. He just grabbed Simon's arms.
Carter with both hands grabbing both arms for Simon. Of course, make him earn it at the line, but
looked like Chris Carter, the former NFL receiver, grabbing a football the way he grabbed the arms on that one.
Going for the pigskin. So it's a very aggressive play at both ends of the court here as we've gotten right into it these first 3.5 minutes.
And the Dons coaches were saying it's very important for them to get off to a good start tonight in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. Here comes Peter Campbell for Justin Hawkins, maybe to supply a little offense off the bench, because they finished the last game so strongly. There you see the grab. I mean, he got him just below the wrist. That's an intentional foul. Not that they ever call it, but it was.
Maybe later in a game you could see a call like that.
Yeah.
Very good point to make. 2 for 2 for Simon. Dons take the lead for the first time at 6-5.
They really want to get off to a good start, have the carryover. They want to protect their house. Exactly what the coaches are telling the players.
2-1 here at the Coliseum to start the 04-05 campaign. Newsom, another shot, another miss. Campbell.
Speaking of 04, he is 0 for 4 right now.
So if he continues that pace, IPFW will have no problem.
In one way, he's actually 4 for 4. He's touched the ball 4 times. He shot it 4 times.
And he hasn't given it up. Simon on the drive. David to the basket and a nice move.
That looks a lot better than the jump shot, don't you think?
That's it. They'll take those little shots right up close. Simon with all 8 points for the Dons and a 3-point advantage.
Coming off his first double-double of the season, 16 points, 10 rebounds against Utah State.
3 in the corner, a miss, another board. Dons trying to run now with Bauer on the push.
That's 4 rebounds already, too. He's almost halfway to a double-double.
Over there, and another steal. Tyler George taking it away from Bauer. Throws it up over the top. Simon swats it away, though, as they were looking for Woodfork. And that'll bring us to our first timeout. 15-12 to go here in the first half. IPFW with David Simon leading the way has an 8-3 advantage. We'll take a break, be back. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Simon. Putting it on the floor, taking it to the hole.
8 points early here to get the Dons off and running.
8 points, 4 rebounds already for Simon. That's a good game for a lot of guys.
That's a nice halftime stat line for somebody, but big 55 looking good here in the first 4 minutes. The Dons, we talked about turnovers in our broadcast. They've got 5 early here.
And none, surprisingly, for the Skyhawks. They turn it over 19 times, but Jared Newsom, their leading scorer, leading shooter, he's 0 for 5. We just checked the stats. He has, ready for this, Brad, 6 assists for the season. That's 1 a game.
And he takes a lot more than 6 shots, folks. A miss at the other end by Will Lewis into the game for the first time. The Northrop High School graduate getting to play in front of the hometown fans here. Peter Campbell, 3, got it.
That's Stroke. There's the carryover. He hit the big 3, as you said, to close out the game against Utah State on Tuesday, and now he hits his first one tonight.
Now Lewis, he'll dump it out. Don's on a 7-0 run, up half a dozen. 3 ball, misses. Lewis gets the rebound there. He'll move it to the middle. Newsom trying to drive. It's stolen away. Simon adds to his stat line.
There's our first turnover of the game for the Skyhawks. Lewis, every time he touches the ball, the coaches told me he's going to spin and go baseline. So watch for that.
Simon trying to go to the basket, fouled.
Simon very aggressive early tonight. You can tell he's starting to get a lot more confidence in his knee. That he just feels better. He's, you haven't seen him for a couple of games live.
Sure.
He's moving a lot more smoothly and a lot quicker than he was.
Putting the ball on the floor here a couple times early. He gets his first break. Hawkins back in. See Byron Malone, number 3, into the game for the first time. Coach Knoll calling his play now. It'd be Malone to trigger it in.
Playing a little small ball right now.
And it will be 5-second violation.
The man inbounding the ball has to have a clock in their head right there, and if it's close, throw it deep. They had a guy open deep, or call a timeout. Take a 20.
Nothing wrong throwing it to the backcourt. Turnover number 6 for IPFW. 6 is their lead as well right now. Just about 6 minutes gone underneath and off of the Skyhawks player. Marcus Ford trying to go to the basket.
Yeah, Campbell actually blocked that shot. He made a good play, and instead of the ball just going out of bounds, it hit the Skyhawks player. Lucky break.
So the Duns defense, they've not given up a field goal here for about 4 minutes, while putting together a little 7-0 run of their own.
Kind of start they want. They have a lead. Now they want to build on it.
Byron Malone again. Now Campbell. 3 on his tally sheet already tonight. Carruthers, he takes it in, spins, got cut off. 11 on the shot clock. See where Malone goes this time. Butler trying to post. Byron gets in the lane. Nice shot fake. Short. Butler there to clean up. With on the left side. Air ball. Pulled out. A tie-up.
I think the ball's going to go over to the Skyhawks because the shot clock expired. The 2 shots, neither of them hit the rim.
Just as Lewis and Butler got tied up there.
You saw the shot fake, sir, Brad. That was another thing in the scouting report. It said that the Skyhawks will bite on the shot fake every time. So look for a lot of that.
Simon back in.
Bo Bauer coming in as well.
For the Dons, so they bring a couple of the starters in. There's Bauer. He had the hot hand on Tuesday night. He has yet to put one on the board here this evening.
Surprisingly, the Dons dominating the boards early, 12-4 rebound advantage.
They get another turnover inside. Simon coming up with the loose ball. Malone pushes to Hawkins now. Martin staying with their man-to-man defense. Campbell on the baseline. Hawkins will bring it back out, set it again. Got some scoring power on the floor right now for the Dons. A little bit of everybody. Hawkins on the drive, takes it up strong, goes to the deck. Foul called, and he'll get a couple of free throws.
He just keeps banging his head there, doesn't he? Literally.
He's like a hockey player out here.
Maybe he could play with a helmet. Is that legal?
Perhaps. He does have the mouth guard, fortunately for him, taking that precaution.
And he'll get a couple of free throws now. Good aggressive move there, though.
Hawkins shooting 60% from the line on the season, looking for his first point, and comes up short. Averaging 5 points and 4 boards a contest on the season.
A little too much arc on that last shot.
Kind of stuck here 11-5 for the last couple of minutes. Second shot looking better. So the Dons extend their lead to 7. First point for Hawkins.
Tennessee Martin hasn't scored in, got to be, what, 5-6 minutes now?
They've been without a field goal for about 5 minutes. Yeah, just a single free throw.
Ooh.
Oh, what was that? Maybe an alley-oop, perhaps, to Newsom.
Not that quickly. They might need a new backboard. That thing could have a dent in it.
At the other end, Bauer misses the three. Hawkins to clean up, though, gets the rebound bucket. And Tennessee Martin all out of whack right now. They'll take a 30-second timeout.
That was perfect position by Justin Hawkins. He had inside. He didn't even jump for that rebound. It hit the rim and fell right into his lap, and he got the easy layup. That was perfect positioning. The Dons now 13-4 on the rebounds. And again, the Skyhawks supposed to be very aggressive on the glass, especially on the offensive glass. They're just not getting a shot at it right now. The Dons doing what they're supposed to, really protecting the glass. And oddly enough, they're still playing man-to-man. IPFW, and there was talk that there was going to be a lot of 2-3 zone tonight, but they're not playing it yet.
2 of 11 from the field for Tennessee Martin to start things off here. So
that's a whopping 18%.
That's what the Dons don't mind a bit seeing.
And the Dons almost 42% right now. Plus they're getting to the line, 3 out of 4 from the line.
So putting together a pretty good effort here in the first 7.5 minutes. 14-5, most importantly, the advantage. Inside, Skyhawks missed there, shot by Lewis, but he'll go to the line.
Once again, Brad, you see when he got the ball, he immediately went to the baseline.
So Hawkins tagged with the personal. And Will Lewis, product of Fort Wayne Northrop High School.
He's grown a couple 3 inches since then. He's 6'8" now.
I can recall him at about 6'5", 6'6", his last couple years in high school. Coming in here averaging 6 points, 5 rebounds a contest. There he is, the leading scorer off the bench.
Yep. And again, he's got the good wingspan. They've got a lot of long athletic players inside the Skyhawks. That's why they're good on the offensive glass, so they haven't been so far.
So he breaks that scoreless streak of about 4.5 minutes. The Martin went without a single point. They are still without a field goal since about the 18-minute mark.
Heads up play by Pete Campbell there, the freshman coming back to help out to break the press.
Got it across the timeline with a couple seconds to spare, trying to avoid that 10-second violation. Malone running the point here. Hawkins having himself a good start. See if he tries to drive again. Looking for some contact here early in this game.
Skyhawks overplaying everybody, going for the steal every time.
Bauer's 3 comes up short. Newsom gets another rebound. He'll bring it down.
Is he going to pass?
Or is he going to go one-on-one? He dumps it to the middle. They're trying to post up inside. And they get it down there. Shot up, blocked. Second chance, no. And a rebound. And can't get it still. Simon imposing in there. He's just intimidating those guys down there.
Lewis actually grabbed the rim without the ball. That's supposed to be a technical foul.
Jason Thompson, 21, had a decent look at the basket. Came up empty. Hawkins, 3, missed it. He may have gotten fouled as he hit the deck. Now the Skyhawks on the push again. They get it back inside. Here's Thompson again. He comes up short.
Great defense.
Hawkins got back for that one.
He just planted himself, just stretched up, made him shoot over.
So a great effort for Justin here in the first half. He's taking a look now. Malone gets free from his defender. Simon the little screen, no, tipped around. Campbell tried to get it back up to the rim and could not.
Malone thought he was going to get fouled on there. He was almost secondary on trying to make the shot. You got to make the shot first before the foul.
Lewis called for the travel. Brings us to another timeout. 10:53 to go here in the first half. IPFW 14-6 leaders. We'll take a break. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
You have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best. And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
first half action. Justin Hawkins.
Look at him aggressively taking it to the basket, drew the foul there, made a free throw, and then right after that he got his position inside, got a rebound, and made a bucket. Got to be careful of that noggin for him.
Paying the price here in the first half. IPFW's defense is getting it done also.
Yeah, turnover starting to even up. It was 5-zip. Dons have turned it over 5 times. Now the Dons have turned it over 6 total. But the Skyhawks have all of a sudden turned it over 5. Now they're getting towards their average, which is 19 a game.
A little bit of pressure in the backcourt. We see Andrew Bourne, 22 into the game for the first time for the Dons.
Really provided a spark the other night when he came in, hit a big 3, forced a couple of turnovers, got a couple of loose balls. He's just scrappy. He's one of those guys who doesn't show up on the scouting report. They put him in just to pester somebody, and they're like, who is this guy?
Simon double teamed.
Got away with a travel.
7 on the shot clock. Hawkins down to 4. Simon way out. 3 ball. Missed the rim. Missed it all. Another shot clock violation.
Have to be more cognizant of the shot clock at that point. Once you get to 10, you better start looking for the first available shot.
The Dons defense, 8 minutes and 15 seconds since they gave up the last field goal.
And only, what, 1 point, the 1 free throw?
Just a pair of free throws, about 3 minutes apart. 2 of 15 shooting here in the first half for Tennessee Martin. That's led to an 8-point advantage for IPFW coming up on the midway mark of the first half. Get a jumper there on the baseline, short. Pete Campbell another board.
Main thing, Brad, with all the misses that Tennessee Martin's had, they're not getting any offensive rebounds. The Dons doing a great job on the defensive glass.
It's one of those numbers we talked about early. Bourne for 3. Got it. There he is.
Now, he got a great pick from Pete Campbell on that one. David Simon spotted him. That was beautifully done. A bit of a skip pass.
Young man from Carroll High School. So we got some local talent all over the floor here tonight.
We're getting a little Bourne identity out there now, and if he keeps shooting like that, that's the Bourne supremacy.
Keep him out there.
He's earned his playing time, though.
Absolutely. Great effort on Tuesday night. Gets him in a little earlier here this evening.
He doesn't play a lot, but when he's out there, he plays 100% the entire time. That's exactly what the coaches want to see off the bench. They want to see it from the starters, too, but especially from guys off the bench.
Top to bottom on the roster. A couple more substitutions. And a 3-ball. Missed it. Rebound. Great position for Butler.
Quentin Butler doing the job inside. He's got 4 rebounds now, tied with Simon for the lead. And Peter Campbell, 3 rebounds. Down 17-9. Basically doubling the rebounds of Tennessee Martin.
That's the numbers Coach Knoll and his staff wanted to see here tonight. Still that man-to-man defense we're seeing from Tennessee Martin. As Randy has said, we keep expecting them to switch up at some point. Simon on the move, hits it. He's looking good.
Beautiful little fadeaway face-up jumper, but that's more of his range. He was only about 8 or 10 feet on that one, not 16 or 18 feet.
Double figures here in the first half. And the lead goes to 13 with 9 minutes to go. This has been a solid effort here in the first half.
Yeah, Simon filling out the scorecard. 10 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, and a block shot.
Look at the hustle by Butler. Steele forces the tie-up, and the Dons will get it on the possession arrow. So far, Randy, it looks like things are carrying over from Tuesday night pretty well.
Coaches couldn't have drawn this up any better. It's 19-6. They have a 13-point lead. They've only given up 6 points over 11 minutes into the ball game. That's almost unheard of. 2 field goals, 2 free throws. That is it for Tennessee Martin thus far. Now, they said they wanted to play a defense sort of like Air Force played against them. Right now, the Dons are. Butler trying to get position here. Carruthers on the drive. Butler gets it. Pushed from behind. They got 3 players down there underneath trying to defend, and they just can't handle him. That's going to put the Dons in one of those. That's team foul number 6. The Dons also, remember we talked about the first few minutes of the game, they didn't want to give Tennessee Martin any confidence. So this is the kind of team, if they start making some shots early the way they play, they'll just start throwing them in from everywhere. Well, especially their main gun, Newsom's missed everything so far, and a lot of the rest of the team is going to feed off of that. He's shooting poorly, the rest of them are shooting poorly. They've got the ability to put some points together in a hurry, but they have not been able to get anything going here in the first half. Bourne gets it into Simon again. They collapse a triple team there. He went one way, Bourne went the other. Yeah, he thought that one of the Skyhawks tipped it, but no.
So the turnovers 7-6 right now, but IPFW, just by being able to hit some shots here in the first half, had the advantage.
And again, controlling the defensive glass against a team that gets a lot of offensive rebounds. That's almost like getting turnovers. Here's Newsom going G, 1-on-1.
Not able to do anything with it there. They go back into the post. The little left hand, nice little scoop shot. Up around the rim there was Woodfork on Lewis's shot. So Will Lewis, a couple more points for Fort Wayne on the board there, but going to the other side this time.
That's one they didn't expect him to spin that way and use the left hand. He normally goes to the baseline. That time he went to the middle.
Simon again. Shot fake and back out.
Smart move by Simon. He was double teamed, got it to the open man.
Bauer, look at him attack the basket. Nothing could fall. That one was halfway down the rim. There's all kinds of white jerseys up there. On the run, Newsom fouled.
That was Quentin Carruthers way over the rim.
Sky high down at this end of the court.
Just couldn't get it to fall. Newsom's finally going to get a chance to score. He's going to get some free throws.
He'll do it after another timeout. 7:20 to go here in the first half. Don's lead is 11 at 19-8. We'll be back. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Are you in there? What's up? The show's at 7. Whoa.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Brown and Randy Shippen with you on UPN Fort Wayne. 19-8 the advantage for the Dons at the 7:20 mark. Pep band getting it going here tonight. Looking good, sounding good.
I think right now the Dons are picking up some bad habits. They're almost getting into the one-on-one kind of style that Tennessee Martin is playing.
They've been most effective when the Dons have kind of controlled their game in their set and their tempo here this evening.
Feeding it inside of David Simon. He tries to take it to the basket, and when he gets double teamed, he dishes it out to somebody who's wide open.
So here's a chance to get a good look at Tennessee Martin's leading scorer, Jared Newsom. And free throw rims out there. 63% shooter from the line. 17 points, 8 boards a contest for the 6'5 junior.
Right now he's 0 for 5 from the field.
And gets his first point right there.
Sometimes something as simple as a free throw will get a scorer going. Just getting the feeling of the ball going through the basket and hearing the rip of the net.
A little pressure in the backcourt. Trouble there for Bauer. And he ends up out of bounds. He got tied up with Newsom there.
That's a turnover.
Coach Knoll taking a look on there. So back to the Skyhawks now.
That's 8 turnovers for the Dons, one more than their goal for the entire game. So they better start taking better care of the ball.
So kind of a freebie possession here for Tennessee Martin after a 1 of 2 trip to the line. They're going to get Bourne on the hand check.
Only the 15th foul on IPFW, so won't be shooting any free throws here.
I think considering the numbers we've talked about, neither team's really in a big rush to get to the line.
No. Look at the shooting percentages, though. 37% for the Dons, 17. Okay, I'll give them 18% for Tennessee.
Well, that's going down now. They miss. Lewis a rebound inside. Butler had a hand on it. Simon was in there. They're going to get Butler up on top for the foul.
That looked like a clean block, but now you see Tennessee Martin starting to attack the offensive glass. That's 4 or 5 offensive rebounds in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Just 3 of 18 from the field here in the first 13 minutes of this contest. So Will Lewis to the line, 6'8" sophomore. He gets the friendly roll.
He's a Fort Wayne guy, so he gets sort of home court for him.
We'll give that to him
played
here.
at the Coliseum.
See them attacking the boards here again.
Again, long and athletic. That looked like a good block, though. It looked like he got all ball from behind. Sometimes refs will anticipate a foul, and they blow the whistle whether there's one or not.
Second free throw and another roll.
He uses all the rim, doesn't he?
Those rims have gotten a workout here at the Coliseum this afternoon and tonight.
Here comes that pressure again. The pressure's been pretty effective for Tennessee Martin early.
Forced the turnover the last time. See what they do this time.
They're playing man pressure like that. Have another guy come over, set a pick to free a guy open.
Bauer gets it up easily this time. To the corner. Campbell, Peter, got it. He stays hot.
He needs to keep shooting. It's very rarely you say a guy needs to shoot more. He needs to shoot more.
He's got a couple of threes here in the first half. 3 at the other end off the back rim.
And that's something the Dons invite. Tennessee Martin's shooting about 27% on the year from 3.
On the baseline, miss there. Tipped around and out. Dons will keep it.
Tennessee Martin, not a good outside shooting team at all. Charles Campbell coming in the game now. You might not recognize him. If we can get a shot of him, number 40. He had the Ben Wallace afro working for a while, and now he and David Simon have the same barber. It's short. It's clean, baby. It's clean.
Went to the clean shave here at the tail end of 2004.
Yeah, when they were out west, they were yelling Wallace at him. Ben Wallace is, I guess maybe he didn't like that.
I'm guessing right now is not a great time to be associated with that name. Dons with another opportunity this time down. Carruthers will drive up and under. Almost got it up there. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Dons.
I think David Simon got just a hand on that ball. He didn't agree, but do you ever when they call it the other way?
Now when it goes to the other team. So quickly up the floor. Dons kind of caught off guard. Simon the big swat, though.
You could hear that one.
The Dons kind of got lulled on the defense. Martin with 2 quick passes had it on the baseline.
Simon was ready for that, especially after getting the call against him. He was a little upset. The only bad thing about that, it might sound funny, but you don't want to block that shot so hard. If you can tip it and keep it in play, then it's turnover. This way they get another chance to score.
Keep possession nonetheless. So we go under the 6-minute mark.
Dons playing all man-to-man. They had said they were going to look to go to some 2-3 matchup zone to force some outside shots. They want the Skyhawks to fire.
Justin flat with it out here. 6 on the shot clock. He gets hung up on the baseline and on the line.
Quentin Carruthers knocked it away, but knocked it straight out of bounds.
So 5 on the shot clock. Triggered in down in front of the Dons cheerleaders.
Dons had some trouble against Utah State off the inbounds. A couple of guys got wide open underneath the basket.
Get it into flat, the guard. He'll pull up in the corner and hit it. Tough shot.
Oh. That's exactly what IPFW wanted to force. He had nowhere to go. He was stuck in the corner. It's the old prayer, and it's answered.
So a little 7-3 run has the Skyhawks down by 7. Charles Campbell gets it into Simon again. Peter Campbell on the move, hits again.
I'm telling you, he has to keep shooting the ball, Brad. He's 3 out of 3, all 3-pointers. That's pretty good.
2 threes and a deuce, give him 8.
Oh, they called that a deuce? I thought he was outside.
Just inside the line there. 3 at the other end, good to go for Chris Carter.
Very unusual to see the Skyhawks hit 2 threes in a row.
Bauer on the drive, fouled from behind.
This is a guy normally you want at the free throw line. He has struggled a bit lately. Even the other night when he was hitting the 3-pointers, he was having trouble at the line.
So 1-1 coming now for the Dons.
See how the offense is contagious? For a while, neither team was scoring. Now they're both starting to hit some shots. They get into a little bit of a better flow.
Bauer, one guy you don't mind having at the line.
Nope.
70% on the season. Tops among the Dons regulars.
I'd venture to say by the end of the year, he'll be up around 80, 85%.
A 90% free throw shooter in high school. Butler back in, Simon to the bench. Great first half for David. 10 points, 5 boards.
You know, and that's one of those things you can't understand why it would go down from high school to college. You know, regular shooting percentage, yes, you can understand, but a free throw is a free throw. Doesn't matter, high school, college, PAL, doesn't matter where you're playing, it's a free throw, same distance.
Usually comes down to mental. Skyhawks get it to Newsom now. Really working a little harder inside this time. Now the drive up through the double team. Short there, Lewis had it, lost it. Tipped out by Pete Campbell.
Looked like Lewis just threw that or lost it out of bounds. But again, they're hitting the glass now. Watch out. This is something you don't want to give them second chance points because they're not a great shooting team.
Starting to cinch up that rebound disadvantage a little bit. We've got 15 on the shot clock here from the inbound and a foul away from the ball.
I think they got Quentin Butler.
Lewis and Butler banging inside. Butler called for the foul.
That's going to put them in the 1-and-1.
1 and bonus for Lewis again.
What is he, 3 out of 4 from the line, I believe, right now? Yep, and 1 field goal, 5 points off the bench. He is their leading scorer, as you mentioned, off the bench.
He's getting some good minutes here tonight. Short on the free throw, and a good board for Carruthers.
And you know this game has to mean a little more to Lewis than anybody else on Tennessee Martin playing in his hometown. I'm sure he's got a lot of friends and family at the game tonight.
Chance to play here at the Coliseum. Carruthers gets free up underneath. Lost it on the end line.
Looked like it was going to be a steal on that one. Justin Flatt was right there. He just missed it. And Carruthers might have been a little smarter to just pull up and take the 12-footer.
So the Dons with a 9-point advantage as we come upon the 4-minute mark. Back inside, Newsom. Big jam there for his first field goal.
I can understand why he didn't pass that time.
So that gets the Skyhawks within 7. Dons led by as many as 13 here in the first half. Pete Campbell again misses. Rebound ends up in the hands of Lewis again.
Okay, that was a pretty good shot.
On the run, looking underneath for Thompson. He can't handle it.
Out of control on that pass. No need for that pass.
So another timeout, the 3:37 mark here in the first half. 25-18, Dons the advantage. Back after this, you're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Coaches always say if you're not shooting the ball well from the outside, a good idea is to take it inside. Well, how about this one? Jared Newsom, leading scorer for the Skyhawks, misses his first 5 shots off from the outside, says, maybe I should venture a little closer to the basket. Gets a dunk. He's got 3 points now, still well below his average of almost 18 a game, which works out to about 9 points a half.
We've seen Pete Campbell. There's one of his jumpers from earlier. He's had one of the hot hands for the Dons here in the first half.
Dons couldn't get the ball in bounds this time. Instead of getting a 5-second count, smartly took a 30-second timeout.
Burn one of those 30-second timeouts. Chance for us to thank the folks at Comcast Cablevision for their help in bringing you tonight's telecast. You can see the Dons home games all season long on Comcast Cable Channel 19. We'll have our next telecast coming up on December the 23rd, a Thursday evening, right before the Christmas holiday.
I think right now, too, Brad, it's very important for the Dons. 3:37 to go in the first half. They're up by 7, 25-18. They want to go into intermission at least 7 points ahead. They'd really like to be 10 points ahead because, you know, that double-digit psychological barrier, really big for a team coming off a win they maybe weren't supposed to get, and now a team they're supposed to be.
So more pressure in the backcourt from the Skyhawks.
Worked very effectively.
Bauer gets it this time. Cleared it out. Nice little move there from Marcus Ford.
Yeah, that was almost worthy of an Academy mention.
Now the trap right here in the corner in front of us.
I thought we were going to get an assist on that one. I was open.
Nearly tossed it right in your lap here.
Smart play by Bauer, though. Didn't want to use another timeout. He was trapped, nowhere to go. He had 2 defenders on the sideline, so he just bounced it off of one of the Skyhawks.
Still 20 on the shot clock. Plenty of time on this possession for the Dons.
Now they're running their offense.
Hawkins taking a look. Little 1-4 type set here. Down to 10 on the shot clock. They go to Simon. Let's see what he does with it again.
Here comes the double team.
And the dish underneath. Hawkins can't get it. Second chance there. Nothing doing. Pete Campbell, he'll put it up. Can't get it. Simon on a fourth opportunity and the foul.
Finally get a call. Did you see David Simon, though, when he got that ball, he immediately spotted the double team and Justin Hawkins wide open underneath. Hawkins should just go bam, right up with that ball laid in. Again, guys always worry about getting fouled, getting a three-point play. Make the basket. Don't worry about the foul.
So Simon will get a pair of freebies here and gets the first to roll. Point number 11 here in the first half.
Looking a lot more comfortable at the line tonight. 3 out of 3 at the line, 4 out of 7 from the field, and the 3 that he missed from the field were jumpers from 15 feet and beyond.
Second one here, misses off the back rim. Another rebound for Lewis. Will Lewis with 4 boards and 5 points here. Good first half.
Great job off the bench for the Northwood Crowd.
Under the 3-minute mark. Tyler George with the headband. Back into Lewis again. Hawkins there to defend. Stymies him down on the block.
He kept his ground. He didn't leave his feet. If he leaves his feet, that's a foul or a layup.
Down to 11 on the shot clock. Lewis can't find anybody. 7 to shoot. Newsom.
He'll shoot.
He'll figure it out. Down to 3. Takes it in. Up and in and through and missed it. And Campbell the board.
He was just trying to draw a foul there.
Simon held up.
And they forced him to his left. Remember, they want to force him to his left.
Got that left hand taped up as well. Bauer 3. Rims out. Almost had it to go there.
That looked good when it left his hand.
Skyhawks trying to push. Haven't had many opportunities in transition here this evening. Jumper for Thompson and got the roll. Jason Thompson with his first field goal.
That one's an inch shorter. It's coming straight back off of the rim, but the rims are pretty soft out here at the Coliseum.
26-20, under 2 minutes. Pete Campbell looked one way,
threw it away.
Went the other, did Carruthers, and another turnover.
Yeah, Carruthers got closer to the man, which is what you should do. You want to have a short distance between the passes, and Campbell thought he was just going to hang out on the side, though.
So kind of a blemish on IPFW's half here. Turnover number 10.
Yep, and 7 for the Skyhawks.
And the shooting numbers, 32% for the Dons, 27 for Martin. So it's starting to even up a little bit, and the same on the scoreboard. 6-point game. Minute and a half now. Pass inside to Thompson against Simon. Another block.
That's 3. He is just having a terrific game.
Each one looking good. Hawkins with it now. Simon out there. Back to Bauer. He has yet to hit a field goal. Campbell, though, gets it again. Pete Campbell with a great first half.
That's 4 out of 6 for the freshman. 3 3-pointers.
Rolling right on from Tuesday night to Saturday night. Big shot there, puts it back up to a 9-point margin. On the baseline, fouled underneath was Carter.
And with Campbell, you can just see his confidence growing. He gets the ball. He's ready to shoot the ball. He's not thinking about it. And the coaches will tell you the worst thing to do is think out there. Just get it and shoot.
When you get the hot hand, put it up and go. We were talking about our high school game here earlier this afternoon. Ryan Sims from Snyder came out, hit his first 5 shots from the field. 3 threes, couple of baseline jumpers.
And those threes, Brad, you and I are both there, those were deep.
NBA range.
He wasn't anywhere near the 3-point stripe. Very similar how Bo Bauer was shooting it the other night. Sometimes when you feel it, it doesn't matter how far away you are. The rim just looks humongous.
1 out of 2 on the free throw trip. Simon got his 7th rebound of the first half. And now Bauer, shot fake, draws the foul, almost got it to go.
That's a heady play. He put the shot up, so now he gets the 2 shots. Otherwise, it would have been a 1-and-1.
So Bauer back to the line. And a chance now, we see this an 8-point game, chance to stretch that back to 10 like we talked about.
Now, I don't want to jinx him here, so I'll say it after he shoots the free throw. Okay, the Dons 7 out of 9 right now from the free throw line, almost 80%, much better than they normally shoot, whereas the Skyhawks 6 out of 11. which is about what they shoot.
Don's just 60% from the line on the season, so this is looking good here in the first half of this one.
A lot of that due to David Simon, 3 out of 4 tonight. Bauer, you expect to shoot well.
Flat, missed the 3. Rebound.
A tip and a rebound.
Carter gets it and got it to fall. Wild possession there.
Offensive rebounds. That's a staple of the offense for the Skyhawks.
Final 15 seconds. See what the Dons go here. Bauer.
I'd give it to Pete Campbell.
Hawkins. Look, they go to the corner. Campbell. And stolen away. George, he has to beat the clock with a second. And swatted away by Carruthers.
That was great hustle. He could have just let the guy go, but he didn't. He went down there and swatted it. I thought Pete Campbell, though, should have taken the shot. As hot as he is, take the shot to end the half.
So the number we had talked about earlier was 7 or 8. Well, that's your margin here at the break. 31-23. IPFW on top. We're going to get set now for our Centennial Wireless halftime show. IPFW Chancellor Mike Wortell will be our guest here tonight. We'll be talking to him in just a couple of minutes. We'll also round up the stats here from the first half of tonight's contest. We'll take a timeout, come back to the Coliseum. Dons up 8. 31-23 the margin. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
We only ask that you do your best. I made you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
What's ahead for the future of Northeast Indiana? One answer lies with the graduates of our fine area colleges and universities. Hi, I'm Phil Laux, president of the Greater Fort Wayne Chamber of Commerce. And when you support an area college or university, you support the economic growth and development of where we live. Graduates of these higher education institutions are working hard to grow our local economy. I urge you to support your area university or college with your time, your talent, and your treasure. Our college grads are a vital part of Northeast Indiana's continued success.
Hi. I was wondering if you wanted to go out maybe or something, if you had time.
I can tell by your excitable behavior and verbal faux pas that you have generalized anxiety with paranoid tendencies. It would never work.
Okay, thanks.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
This month on IPFW Up Close, we have a program that covers politics, new technology, and curing the blues. We'll learn who the real winners and losers were in the 2004 elections, how a new technology is allowing a local filmmaker to preserve her heritage, and how to recognize the signs of those holiday blues. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access, Channel 56.
Coliseum at halftime. IPFW leading. Randy Schiffman now with IPFW Chancellor Mike Wortell.
Right now, the Chancellor of IPFW, Michael Wortell, thank you for joining us. Some very exciting times at IPFW. You guys were just voted the best place to work in Fort Wayne. Did that come as a shock to you?
Well, it really did, because we never even expected to be in the mix. When a place like the Business Journal goes and looks at businesses, they seldom look at higher education. And here we are in the mix of businesses, and folks are looking at us as if we're part of the economy, which in fact we are. And so it's very exciting to be number one. It's always exciting to be number one.
What makes it such a great place to work, besides you, of course?
Well, of course. But in academic institutions are really places where people get to grow and prosper. We have a great benefits package, great vacation package. And the other issue is that people feel free to do their work, and they're seldom hassled, and they feel very good about that.
And these are exciting, growing times at IPFW. Just opening up the dorms, you got the beautiful bridge there. What does that mean for the university and the community?
Well, I think more and more the university is seen as part of the fabric of the community, whether it's the business fabric, the texture, the culture in the community, the sports community, all of those things the university is really participating in as an active participant and as an integral participant. And I think that's really important to the community. And when you look at now housing on the campus, you know, so many people, when we went to Division I, they said, well, now you're a real university. And then when we got housing, they said, well, now you're a real university. Well, we were a real university all that time, but these things are symbols of the way people feel about universities, and we're excited to be there.
You know, perception is more important than reality sometimes. We say that in the news business. What exactly do the athletics bring to the university? We know it adds a lot to the community, but what does it also bring to the university community?
Well, it brings a certain amount of notoriety, and of course there's nothing more thrilling, at least for me, than to see IPFW crawling across the bottom of the ESPN network. And athletics gives a point of pride for the university. It gives students a rallying cry, a rallying point, and folks kind of gather around athletics, and little by little we're building that reputation. We have very high attendance, for example, at women's volleyball and men's volleyball, more than many others in the country. So we're seeing the community join in, and it's one of the things, along with things like the omnibus lectures and other things that we do in the community, that brings the community into the campus and makes the campus so much more a part of the community.
We're seeing it grow, the attendance as well for basketball, especially since you moved here to the Coliseum. One of the things that we think will help, though, is getting in a conference. We know what the coaches and what the athletic director, what they do to try to get in a conference. What's the chancellor's role in all that?
Well, conferences are really run by presidents. Sometimes they're run by the athletic directors, but the presidents really feel responsible because the NC2A makes them responsible. So I have to interact with the presidents of those conferences, of the institutions in those conferences, and conferences are very careful about who gets in. So it's a long process. Mark Pope has been doing a great job of making the initial contacts and working with the athletic directors, and we all work together to try to essentially sell IPFW.
Is this one of the more fun parts of your job? You get to just come out, relax, and be a fan, enjoy a game?
Well, you're never quite a fan when it's your team, and so you know, you want them to win. You're really excited for the athletes. I think the most important part of being here is showing support for our athletes, because they work hard, they're great students, we have great student athletes, and we need to get out and show them that we support them as they're representing the university.
And what does the future hold for the school?
For
IPFW, what do you see as just all around in the school? Yeah,
I think eventually you're going to see a 15 to 20,000 student campus. You're going to see much more of an academic reputation throughout the country. This is going to be a truly nationally known regional university. And I think this community will be very, very proud of what IPFW is now and will become.
Thank you very much for your time, Chancellor. Happy holidays, and I know you're going on vacation. Have a great time.
I'm delighted to do that.
And hopefully you come home with the second win in a row tonight.
And a little bit of a tan, I hope, too.
Okay. Brad, back to you.
Thank you, Randy. We want to say thanks to Chancellor Wartell for joining us here tonight at the Coliseum. Always good to hear from him and good to see some of the IPFW athletics highlights that we showed you here at halftime tonight. 31-23 the advantage for the Dons. We'll take a timeout here on our Centennial Wireless halftime show and take a look at the first half stats when we come back after this break. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
You know, she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour. Unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales. You're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
What's ahead for the future of Northeast Indiana? One answer lies with the graduates of our fine area colleges and universities. Hi, I'm Phil Laux, president of the Greater Fort Wayne Chamber of Commerce. And when you support an area college or university, you support the economic growth and development of where we live. Graduates of these higher education institutions are working hard to grow our local economy. I urge you to support your area university or college with your time, your talent, and your treasure. Our college grads are a vital part of Northeast Indiana's continued success.
This month on IPFW Up Close, we have a program that covers politics, new technology, and curing the blues. We'll learn who the real winners and losers were in the 2004 elections, how a new technology is allowing a local filmmaker to preserve her heritage, and how to recognize the signs of those holiday blues. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access, Channel 56.
21-23, the Dons leading Tennessee Martin Skyhawks. Halftime here at Memorial Coliseum. Brad Brown and Randy Schiffman here with you. A great first half, really, for the most part. The Dons put together a solid start, a little lull in the middle there, but came back with a good couple of minutes at the end, and I think the stats will back that up.
And I think the lull in the middle was due a lot to they started playing Tennessee Martin's game instead of playing their game. For just a little while, they got a little too one-on-one, but you look at the stat line, David Simon, 11 points, 18 minutes, which is more than he's played for quite a while. I mean, he's played virtually the entire game. 3 blocked shots, 7 rebounds, a steal, a couple of assists, and how about, once again, Pete Campbell, 10 points in 14 minutes of play. Neither team really shooting the ball that well. The Dons at 35%, 27% for the Skyhawks. 3 out of 9 helping IPFW. The turnovers, we talked about that early. Dons have turned it over 11 times, only 7 for the Skyhawks. But
and that 27-18 margin on the rebounds, really, it was a little more than that even. The Skyhawks got a few stray rebounds there at the tail end of the first half.
Yeah, and they're really starting to get the offensive glass. That's the one thing that IPFW really has to be wary of in the second half. They have to keep the Skyhawks off the glass because that's the way they get most of their points is on second chance because they don't run much of an offense.
And how about that big play to end the first half by Quentin Carruthers?
Quentin Carruthers with the block as we take a look at it as we go to break. Quentin Carruthers, if he doesn't make this block right now, it's an 8-point game. It could have been a 6 or a 5-point game if he had fouled him. Great play by Q as he blocked Tyler George, who looked like he had a breakaway layup to end the half.
So 31-23 will be the margin. 8 points for IPFW, and here it is as we take one more timeout for ourselves. That's the reason it's an 8-point game right there.
Clean as a whistle.
Solid effort by the Dons for their first 20 minutes. We'll get set for second half action and come back to the Coliseum with that after another break. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best. And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
What's ahead for the future of Northeast Indiana? One answer lies with the graduates of our fine area colleges and universities. Hi, I'm Phil Laux, president of the Greater Fort Wayne Chamber of Commerce. And when you support an area college or university, you support the economic growth and development of where we live. Graduates of these higher education institutions are working hard to grow our local economy. I urge you to support your area university or college with your time, your talent, and your treasure. Our college grads are a vital part of Northeast Indiana's continued success.
This month on IPFW Up Close, we have a program that covers politics, new technology, and curing the blues. We'll learn who the real winners and losers were in the 2004 elections, how a new technology is allowing a local filmmaker to preserve her heritage, and how to recognize the signs of those holiday blues. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access, Channel 56.
Down 20 to go here at Memorial Coliseum. Brad Brown and Randy Schiffman here with you on UPN Fort Wayne. IPFW 31, Tennessee Martin 23. David Simon 11 points, 7 boards. Pete Campbell 10 and 5 to lead the way.
And how about Jared Newsom, leading scorer for the Skyhawks, 1 out of 7, 3 points in the first half. Again, a guy who averages, what, 17, 18 a game.
Correct.
And only 3 rebounds. He averages 9 a game.
Kind of taking him out of his game in the first half of this one. So we'll set the matchups as we get things started here. Dons with their starting 5 on the floor. Hawkins, Carruthers, Bauer, Butler, and Simon getting another block. And again, swatting that one, deflecting it out of bounds. Last touch by the Dons.
That was Simon's 4th block of the night. But the bad news, Tennessee Martin got an offensive rebound and then tipped the ball and keeps the ball. Skyhawks just want to get the ball up on the glass and go after it. Basically, is their offense.
Dons led by as many as 13 in the first half. There's Newsom, nothing doing there.
He's really going to force it now. Brad, trust me, I've taken a lot of bad shots in my life, and when you're a shooter and you're 1 out of 7 in the first half, you don't care where it is. You're shooting the ball when you get it every opportunity from then on, because you think, well, law of averages. I'm going to start shooting better. You know, they're going to start falling.
It's his nature to be taking shots anyway, so that will fit into the mix. Butler misses from 18 feet. George will push it ahead for the Skyhawks. Flips over to Earl Bullock. He hits a 3, and that makes it a 5-point game.
And surprisingly, the Skyhawks hitting a 3-pointer, not a very good shooting 3-point team. 2 out of 7 tonight. I had him for a 3rd one. Maybe the guy had a foot on the line on one of them.
Bauer in the lane. That one was halfway down.
Unfortunate. Good move. Stopped and popped it a little shot fake because Tennessee Martin goes for the shot fakes.
Looking through the middle. Woodfork can't get it. Carruthers clears it out.
We don't give Simon a block on that one, but that was definitely an altered shot.
More of an intimidation on that one. And he'll get it on the offensive end now. See if he goes one-on-one. Takes it in. Double team. Pass. Butler got position. Can't convert.
Butler has missed 3 or 4 shots that he normally makes blindfolded.
Tempo just a little quicker right out of the gates here in the second half. You can just feel Martin wanting to push the ball a little bit. They get it over to Woodfork. He hits, fading away.
Lead down to 3. If the Dons don't score this time, might be a good idea to take a timeout.
Couple of minutes gone in the second half, and they'll take one right here.
Maybe even a better idea.
So Coach Knoll will talk things over with his team. We'll take a break as well. 17:54 on the second half. Clock 31:28. Dons with the advantage. Okay, we'll keep it here. They're telling us.
Not a good start to the second half for the Dons. Outscored 5-zip right off the bat. They've gotten some good shots at it, IPFW. Whitten Butler on a good feed from David Simon, just missing a layup. Bo Bauer, pull-up jumper, in and out. So I don't think coach is that upset about their offense, even though the shots didn't fall. However, defensively, he's not real happy with what he sees right now.
Well, we saw the same thing Tuesday night against Utah State. Dons controlled very well first half. Utah State, as teams generally do in the second half, they made a run, but the Dons were able to hang on, fought off the run, came back after they fell behind even a little bit, and kept the composure.
Yeah, more than any other game I can think of, there's Newsom forcing a bad shot. Basketball is a game of peaks and valleys. you're never, or rarely, I'll say, I won't say never, but rarely do you just control a team and control a game from the get-go. You know, unless it's a Duke playing somebody really small. You know, if IPFW was playing one of my pickup teams,
sure,
yeah, they're going to win the entire game. But basketball, more than any other, a lot of streaks, a lot of runs by either team in a game.
Dons made their run in the first half, put together a string of 15-1. So they kept Tennessee Martin without a field goal for more than 8 minutes.
Simon with plenty of room to operate.
Went to the rack.
Oh, it goes in.
Now, are they going to count that? No, they wave it off.
Because he hung on the rim. That's the only reason. But you can hang on the rim if it's to protect yourself.
Judgment call strictly by the officials.
If he just let go of it, they would have counted that.
Coach Knoll, he wanted those 2 points. Simon will have to earn them from the line now.
It could have been a possible 3-point play, which, you know, coaches love when you come out of a timeout and they call a play and you run it and you score.
Get the free throw.
4 out of 5 right now from the line for Simon. You can see, I pointed this out in an earlier game, when he bends his knees and has a nice release rotation, that's when he shoots his free throws well.
Missed that one, good point there. Big rebound though for Butler.
That's 5 for Butler.
So the Dons will get a freebie out of this one. So if they go back inside again over the top, Simon able to reel it in but couldn't hang on.
Threw just a little too far, let him a little too much, and he couldn't just pull it right down.
Tennessee Martin there with Ford. And now with Bullock, he drives up and through. Butler called for the block.
Yeah, the referee underneath called the block. The one out top, I think, was about to call a charge. But he deferred to the man underneath, has the better view.
That'll be a couple of free throws for the Skyhawks.
You know, Butler, we look at his stat line tonight, Brad, 0 for 4, and they've all been pretty close shots, just 1 jumper. 5 rebounds, which is what you expect from him at this point of the game, but no points.
That was his 3rd personal.
Yeah, Pete Campbell will come in.
Just over a couple of minutes gone. You see the block there again on the replay. A lot of contact underneath. It's Pete Campbell, for the last game and a half, has had the hot hand on the offense. We'll see if he can continue that. Free throw missed.
That sort of sums up the Skyhawks free throw shooting right there.
That's about right.
7 out of 13, just over, 55%. They're a 60% free throw shooting team. Dons, though, 75% tonight. Very good for them.
9 out of 12. Bauer had it taken away. Ford coming down, up and under, missed it. A little wild shot there.
And he got away with a walk.
Right around midcourt. So the Dons catch a break, get it back. They get it back to Simon. Double team, dish. Hawkins fouled as he goes to the basket by Newsom.
He knows how to draw the fouls. That one he went up strong and he used his left hand, which was his offhand, but it was the hand away from the defender. That was just a hard foul. They weren't going to give him the free layup. David Simon, though, once again, spotting the open man, the cutter on the double team. When you get double teamed, if your guy goes down to the double team, you cut right to the basket. You have to be open.
So Justin Hawkins from the line hits there for his 4th point of the night.
Dons again winning the battle of the free throw line. They're +3 there, and they're +4 in the game. And big stat, +9 offensive rebounds. The only bad one right now for the Dons, they have 13 turnovers, only 7 turnovers for the Skyhawks, who turn over 19 times a game.
1 out of 2 on that trip for Hawkins. The advantage stays at 4. Take a look at Carter again. Get it down to Woodfork on the baseline. He gets it to go.
All of a sudden, the lead is down to 2. This is as close as it's been since the first 4 or 5 minutes of the ballgame.
Tennessee Martin coming out, hitting a couple of field goals here early in the second half. Bauer gets all the way down, goes to Simon. The foul, though, before the big jam.
That was beautifully done. Beautifully done by Bauer.
Good-looking play. Dons will have to take it out of bounds, though.
Wasn't much of a foul there either. And Bauer's part of the play was basically over. So that's one the refs could have let go.
Couple of subs for the Skyhawks. Coach Brett Campbell working down his bench tonight. Bauer with it.
Skip pass.
thought about the shot. Simon hangs on to it and gets it to go on the lay-in.
Simon has very good hands for a big guy. We were talking earlier about the game this afternoon with Lawrence North and Snyder with Greg Oden, the 7-footer. He's now 7-1 for Lawrence North. His hands aren't that good yet. He dropped a lot of passes today. Simon, though, has terrific hands.
That's something that probably should be expected from a 17-year-old. But a college junior, and Simon looking good.
I don't know why Quentin Carruthers is complaining about this call. He basically tackled the man. He tackled Tyler George, but the good news, he kept him short of the first down.
15:50 to go here in the second half. Brings us to our first timeout. Dons with a 4-point edge. Back after this, you're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
In there. What's up? The show's a 7. Whoa.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
This month on IPFW Up Close, we have a program that covers politics, new technology, and curing the blues. We'll learn who the real winners and losers were in the 2004 elections, how a new technology is allowing a local filmmaker to preserve her heritage, and how to recognize the signs of those holiday blues. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access, Channel 56.
Right before the break. Look at Quentin Carruthers. I don't know why he was complaining about this one, Brad. Because the guy reverses his direction. He tackled him. But again, he left short of the first down line.
We need the little yellow 1st and 10 marker here. We'll see if our guys in the back can get that hooked up. Off the inbound, Newsom on the drive. Can't convert. Simon, another board.
Forcing another just horrible shot.
Carruthers on the move. Goes to the rack with a big jam.
He decided at about a half court, if he got the ball, he was dunking that one. That wakes up the crowd. It also wakes up the coach of Tennessee, Martin Brett Richards. Simon with another block.
Foul. Foul before the shot. On the shot, rather. So that will send Carter to the line for a couple of free throws. Quentin Carruthers waking the folks up here at the Coliseum. 2 free throws coming here. Carter, 6'5" senior from Centralia, Illinois, gets the first to go.
I used to drive by Centralia. When I grew up in Chicago, went to school in Southern Illinois, we'd drive by there all the time.
Nice little town?
I don't know, never stopped, drove by it.
Substitution, see Charles Campbell, the clean-shaven one back in.
I think we went through it once, but I blinked and
gone.
Didn't catch it.
Sounds like a small version of St. Joe or Spencerville up in my neck of the woods. 2 for 2 for Carter, back to a 4-point margin.
Newsom coming out now. He is one frustrated player. 1 out of 9 from the field, and the one that he made was a dunk.
Rough night. 3 points, 4 rebounds. He's put together, I believe it's the first time he's been out tonight. 24 minutes on the floor have not amounted to much. Underneath, Charles Campbell got left alone but couldn't convert. Get it back. Carruthers to the rack again. There, fouled on his way up. You could hear him get smacked on the way.
Will Lewis wasn't going to let him dunk 2 times in a row. Yeah, we could hear the slap. Even with our headphones out, we could hear the slap over here at the desk.
So Don's attacking the basket.
Charles Campbell should have made that first shot. He should go up more aggressively with that. Dunk it. You're 6'8", 6'9". Just go up and dunk it. David Simon, though, Johnny on the spot. Simon also made a great play on the pressure. He came back to help break the press. Too many big guys will just stand, on the other half of the court. Oh, it's not my job to bring it up. No, you come back and you help.
So Carruthers with the free throws. Can't get the second, so 1 out of 2.
Don's falling into that trap a bit on the 1 out of 2 free throws the last few times. 11 out of 16, though, not too bad.
Back up to a 5-point margin, and Simon hooked up underneath with Lewis, and David called for the push-off. Just his second personal.
That's not too bad. He's playing a lot of minutes tonight. Only sat 2 in the first half, but unbelievable to believe that he had major knee surgery 5 months ago. 5 months.
Just makes you realize the advances in that part of the medical field, as well as what great shape David is in to go along with that.
And I don't want to say fortunately, but he had the same injury on his other knee 3 years before, so he knew exactly what he had to do to get back in shape.
Earl Bullock hits the 3 in the corner. We got ourselves a 2-point game now.
Tennessee Martin hanging around, hanging around, hanging around. You don't want to see that.
They're hitting some shots here in the second half, and now they're getting a steal. Bullock coming down, dishes off, flat to the rack, misses. He's fouled, and to the line for a pair.
Once again, their defense, they overplay every pass. They'll go for the steal every time. It's almost like, well, we don't care if we give up a shot or a layup. You know, if we get steal, we get an easy 2 points.
So a chance now to tie it at the line. Justin Flatt, 6'4" sophomore from Savannah, Tennessee. We speak of Savannah, Tennessee. That's where we're going to have our crew next Saturday for the big St. Francis NAIA Championship football game.
At this time of the day, the Cougars could be celebrating the first national championship for a Fort Wayne College team.
0 for 2 from the line, and Simon clears the rebound. So that'll be an exciting weekend down there. Don's play at Butler next Saturday. All kinds of good sports going on next weekend.
How psyched do you think Pat Hoffman is for going down to the football championship?
Well, you can ask him on the back end of that 9.5-hour drive down there.
That's only about 8.5, actually.
Okay, I suppose it depends who's driving.
Well, it's only about 6 to Nashville.
Okay.
And then it's just over 2 hours from Nashville down to Savannah.
All right. Anything further south of about Indianapolis, I'm on an airplane. That's why I'll be here next weekend. Skyhawks coming back. Bullock 3 in the corner, and he found the hot hand, and Tennessee Martin finds the lead.
And Tennessee Martin hitting some very unexpected 3-pointers. The Dons are willing to give up the 3-point shot because Tennessee Martin usually shoots it so poorly, but 4 out of 9 right now. That is great shooting. It's better than they're shooting the 2s.
Bullock with 10 points all here in the second half. Skyhawks are fired up now on the defensive end. See if the Dons can answer. They had to do this Tuesday night against Utah State. Carruthers can't get it. Loose ball. Rebound for Will Lewis.
This is an important juncture of the game right now for IPFW.
They go to Bullock again off the back rim. Simon the board.
Simon's got his double-double. That's his 11th rebound, 14 points, plus he's got 4 block shots.
Shane Newsom getting ready to come back in for the Skyhawks.
That's one thing you don't want to see him get hot because they've been playing horribly. They've been trailing most of the game. If their leading scorer comes in and starts hitting some.
Simon trying to go to the basket, called for the hook.
He definitely didn't agree with that call.
David's 3rd personal. See the Tennessee Martin coaches talking with their guys. They've taken the lead here with an 8-1 run. Coach Knoll trying to find an answer.
They call a technical foul on him as well. Certainly looks like it. I think he might have said the magic word. Someone said the magic word.
We will see. You're going to get a couple of free throws out of it for Bullock. They have Simon's 3rd foul up on the board.
Well, if it's 2, that's a bench technical.
They're not giving anybody an additional personal, so that must have come from the bench.
Then you say the magic word, you pay.
So Bullock sinks the 2 freebies.
Don's only 7 points in the first 6 minutes and 44 seconds this half. And I wouldn't really say it's because of Tennessee Martin's defense.
There was the foul on Simon. Away from the basket. 3-point advantage for the Skyhawks coming up on the 13-minute mark. Flat with the ball, trying to get Newsom in the corner, tipped out. Martin will keep it with 19 on the shot clock.
Amazingly, the crowd is getting woken up now that the Dons are falling behind. It's almost like they're getting into the game more, that they're struggling.
See a little bit of life out of everybody in the building tonight. Got kind of quiet, and in the lane, foul.
No, 3-second call. The rarely seen 3-second call.
No, they did call a foul on Lewis. Got him clearing out.
Because one of the other officials was yelling 3 seconds.
Either way, it's going to be Dons basketball. Byron Malone, Bo Bauer back in.
I think they're putting Malone in because they want somebody to really run the offense, because the offense has not been running smoothly at all this half.
Looking for a little bit of a charge. In the lineup here is Coach Knoll.
You can hear Doug Knoll yelling for the hand checks. He says that the Tennessee Martin players are grabbing his guys as they're trying to get open.
Team fouls are already at 6-5, so we're going to be into the bonus pretty quickly here, and we're going to see these two teams that are both 60% free throw shooters try and hack away at each other from the line.
That
perhaps.
might not be pretty.
15 to shoot. Pete Campbell trying to look for Simon, too high.
Sloppy turnover, number 16 on the game.
Much higher number than the Dons wanted to see on any night, particularly on this one.
Turnover is just the opposite of what you would have expected going in. The Dons have turned it over 16 times. Tennessee Martin has turned it over only 7.
So Coach Campbell and the Skyhawks take a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it here.
The Dons really have to do something about the offense, Brad. I'm wondering why Pete Campbell's not shooting the ball more. He had a great first half, scored 10 points. He's been in there for a while. He hasn't taken a shot this half.
Correct. Just looking for anybody at this point.
When a guy's shooting that well, coaches will usually draw up or call a couple of plays for that player. You know, hey, you stay with a hot hand. If you keep shooting until you miss. That's the rule.
Dons 2 out of 7 from the field here in the second half. Just have not had as many opportunities.
7 shots in almost 8 minutes. Not good at all.
5 out of 12 on the half for Tennessee Martin.
They're still rebounding the ball well. Dons have a 10 advantage on the rebounds, 36-26. They're blocking shots. They're just turning it over way too many times.
Tennessee Martin, as good as they've been on the boards, is a -1 on average this season.
Something on the court there, a little piece of garbage. They'll clean it up. And Newsom, who just came back and got, he was ready to shoot.
He was ready to go one-on-one.
He was ready to shoot it when he was on the bench.
That's it. He's going to inbound it here. They reset it. He'll trigger it into Thompson and hand it off to the guard. 20 on the shot clock. The three-point edge for Tennessee Martin, their biggest of the night. Air ball there. Simon reels it in.
Now, are you surprised he shot that ball?
Not anymore.
You're more surprised when he passes it, aren't you?
He's had that kind of night, though.
It's 1 out of 10, and again, the one make was a dunk, so he hasn't come close to making one.
Simon inside.
Stepped on the baseline.
Another turnover. They are starting to add up on the Dons. 11:51 to go here in the second half. 41-38 the lead for the visitors. We'll take another timeout. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
What's ahead for the future of Northeast Indiana? One answer lies with the graduates of our fine area colleges and universities. Hi, I'm Phil Laux, president of the Greater Fort Wayne Chamber of Commerce. And when you support an area college or university, you support the economic growth and development of where we live. Graduates of these higher education institutions are working hard to grow our local economy. I urge you to support your area university or college with your time, your talent, and your treasure. Our college grads are a vital part of Northeast Indiana's continued success.
41-38, Dons trail by 3 with Randy Schiffman. I'm Brad Brown here at Memorial Coliseum.
And we'd like to thank the folks at Comcast for providing the fiber line so we can bring you this telecast of IPFW basketball.
Getting us hooked up here tonight, and getting hooked up on that one is Newsom. Just his second field goal of the night, and the lead goes to 5, biggest of the night for the Skyhawks.
Pick in the pocket there. Oh, Byron Malone just not paying attention.
Tyler George converts.
I know they just came out of a timeout, but the Dons might need another one in a hurry. All of a sudden, they're down by 7.
It's a 12-0 run for Tennessee Martin.
Pete Campbell has to start shooting the ball.
Get it inside to Simon. Missed on the jam again. Fouled.
He got hit pretty hard there. What I'd like to see the Dons do right now, Brad, I think they need to go to a 2-man game. Simon and Campbell are the only guys doing any consistent scoring. You put 3 guys on one side of the court, put Simon and Campbell on the other side. You set Simon in the low block. You put Campbell out in the corner. He dumps it into Simon. If there's a double team, you dump it back out to Campbell for the 3. Otherwise, Simon spins and goes to the hole.
Free throw for Simon breaks a scoreless string of about 3.5 minutes for IPFW.
15 points, 12 rebounds, 4 block shots for Simon, make it 16 points.
So a good night for the big man. Campbell's having a good night. The rest of the Dons trying to fill in the blanks in between.
And I think the biggest surprise is Quentin Butler. No points, 5 rebounds. Hasn't played that much, especially in the second half, because now he's in foul trouble. But he missed a couple of shots early that normally go in for him, and sometimes you miss a couple early ones and you just never get it back.
Shot for Woodfork, he misses. That's not the shot he was looking for.
And Simon altered that one, came out quickly on.
Byron Malone now.
Look for Pete Campbell to shoot a 3-pointer here.
Hawkins, they go to Simon again. Fouled as he tried to make a little spin move.
He's making a living at the line tonight. This will be attempts number 9 and 10 for Simon, and he's hit 6 of his first 8, 75%. Very good percentage for the big guy.
So just trying to generate some offense really any way they can here in this middle part of the second half.
You know, Bo Bauer, as well as he shot the ball the last game, not shooting it, barely shooting. Oh, he's 0 for 6. Had a couple go in and out. 0 for 4 from 3-point line.
Will Lewis back in for Tennessee Martin. Here's Tyler George, who had a steal and a score a couple trips earlier down the floor. Back in as well.
He looks like mini Mike Bibby, we've decided. Tyler George, for 0.
From the side, he did.
Yeah, he looks like a little Bibby.
And another 1 out of 2 trip. Don's got a few of those tonight. They're going to want some of those free throws back, perhaps. 45-41. 4 points the deficit.
Plenty of time to go.
Coming up on the midway point of the second half. Here's Newsom again. He'll hand it off. Bullock had the hot hand here. 12 points in the second half, and 3 more. 15 here in the second half.
4 out of 8 from 3-point land.
He has been the difference.
And Dons want the Skyhawks to shoot the 3-pointers. They're not supposed to make this many. It's a 30% or less than 30% 3-point shooting team, but 5 out of 11 tonight.
Pete Campbell short on his shot. Bullock, again, is he feeling it? Not on that one.
Boy, he was almost standing next to us when he shot that ball.
That was a good 22+ feet away.
How many?
I said plus.
Plus about 8.
Plus a few more. Heaving it up. We saw those boys in the high school game earlier this afternoon. Just chucking it up from a long way out and knocking them down.
Well, some players would rather pull up 3 or 4 feet behind the line knowing that they're going to get a clean look at the basket.
Carried out there at the top. George with the turnover.
Second game in a row they've called a carry.
Keeping an eye on that.
They're starting to enforce the rules. What are we coming to in college basketball?
Turnover number 8 for Tennessee Martin. They've done a pretty good job taking care of the basketball tonight.
And surprisingly, they're calling off the press on that inbounds pass. The press has been extremely effective. It's causing most of those turnovers.
Cost a few here in the second half.
18. You know that's the first thing the coaches are going to mention in the meetings tomorrow.
Pete Campbell and Bauer all come out. Simon on the bench, so Butler working the post now against Lewis.
Oh, he was open there.
They're having a good go at it right here. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Bauer, he'll put it up and got it. There it is.
You know what I was about to say? That was a terrible offensive set by the guy. I mean, just the whole time now, nobody was doing anything. Nobody was moving. He gets a late pick, throws up a 3-pointer, and now it's down to a 4-point lead. And they needed a basket in the worst way there because they could have fallen behind by double digits at Downs without scoring.
That was Bauer's first field goal of the night. See if the defense can answer. George. Get it inside to Carter. The jumper, short. Butler ends up with the long rebound.
Tennessee Martin almost got another offensive rebound there. The man just couldn't control it.
See if Bauer's feeling it again. Puts it up. Miss.
He thought he got fouled on that one.
And it's Newsom chasing down the rebound. And he'll get it back now.
He walked.
Took a step.
He's so anxious to get the ball and get off a shot because he's 2 for 11 tonight. You just know it has to get better. That's a shooter's mentality.
Well, you can just tell from watching him here and what we saw and read in our scouting reports coming into this that he is their go-to guy, and he is the kind of guy that just wants to get at it.
And he likes to shoot a lot.
And he's had a bad night at it.
But sometimes that can scare you because a guy like that can get hot late.
Bauer gets in and gets 2 more.
There you go. When the outside shot's not working so well, Bauer only 1 of 5 from three-point land. Take it inside.
And he gets the attention of Coach Campbell and the Skyhawks to take a timeout.
That's a good timeout. That's a good timeout.
Dons down 2 at 48-46. We will take a break as well. Back with more after this. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
You have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best. I made you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
This month on IPFW Up Close, we have a program that covers politics, new technology, and curing the blues. We'll learn who the real winners and losers were in the 2004 elections, how a new technology is allowing a local filmmaker to preserve her heritage, and how to recognize the signs of those holiday blues. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access, Channel 56.
7:53 here as we got through just a play there where just out of bounds back to the Skyhawks, and the media timeout here now as we are in the final half of the second half here at Memorial Coliseum. Don's 2-point deficit. We'll tell you about some of the games they got coming up next on the IPFW schedule, as a couple of toughies still after this one here. Trip down to Indianapolis to take on the Bulldogs Saturday. Always a tough one at Hinkle Fieldhouse.
You gotta love playing in Hinkle Fieldhouse, so what a great venue. The bad part is you got to play the Butler Bulldogs. That's right. A really good team.
Another solid team again this season. Trip to Bowling Green coming up on the 21st.
Stan Dockich's team lost here last year, so a little revenge for Bowling Green in that game.
And then you saw the next home game against Maine on the 23rd. That's the Thursday night right before Christmas, and we'll have that one for you here.
What's Maine's nickname? Would it be the Lobsters?
the Black Bears.
They should be the Lobsters. That sounds good.
They should.
You see a big guy come out with a bib on.
You're the guy that would say they should be the Main Streets.
Yeah, that would be good too. I always think, you know, Rockford Files, right. 2-lane highways.
Oh my. Folks at home are getting an idea of the conversations we have back in the office all day long now. After the inbound block there, looked like Carruthers.
Yeah, that's his second or third block tonight. Don's defense has been pretty good
so far.
Well, they're giving the 3-point shot to the Skyhawks, but that's what they want to do. They're just surprised that the Skyhawks are making so many, but really they're following their defensive plan pretty well.
There's Noose into the hole, and he got it.
Again, you're not shooting the ball well from the outside. Take it in, though. He's not a great outside shooter. He's more of a slashing kind of scorer.
He has 7.
Well below his average.
It goes back to 4, and he gets a steal. Newsom coming down over the top. Lewis back underneath and got it. Kind of awkward there.
He actually missed the dunk and the ball just sort of slipped through. He's up to 9 points now. Bullock, though, here's a guy who's got 15 points, way more than they expect out of him.
All 15 of those points here in the second half has been the difference. Earl Bullock out defending Carruthers now. Martin's lead goes to 6. They've led by as many as 7 here in the second half as we're down to 7 minutes to go. A little more intensity on the defense as well. Pete Campbell inside.
Thought Campbell might pull the trigger on a 3 there.
9 to shoot. Carruthers
got held.
Pumped on the way.
That's just not a smart foul. The
Dons.
shot clock's running out. You might get the ball back. Now you're giving the guy free throws.
Don's in the 1 and bonus, so to the free throw line. Simon back in after a quick break.
Bullock with the 15 already tonight, averages 10. He's a 29% shooter from three-point on the season. He's 4 out of 9 tonight.
And he scored them all in a bunch. In a hurry here in the second half.
Free throws may well decide this game, and as we've talked about, neither team a very good free throw shooting team, though the Dons doing pretty well tonight, over 70% at 15 out of 21. Skyhawks 11 out of 19.
IPFW 59.6 on the season. Tennessee Martin 62.7. So not a great number for either team, but not too bad here tonight. 2 for 2 for Carruthers in a 4-point game once again.
Dons could really use a turnover here, maybe get a quick fast break. Only 9 turnovers for the Skyhawks tonight. They're really taking good care of the ball, much better than usual.
They've got 10 steals. They got more steals than turnovers. They're doing something very well.
Skyhawks haven't won a road game this season, haven't beaten a Division I team this season.
10 on the shot clock. Carter got hung up. George back to Bullock.
3 on the clock.
Bauer giving him all kinds of trouble over there, and he throws up an air ball.
That was a great defensive stand, and getting the shot clock violation, that is a turnover. That was just great, great defense when the Dons needed it.
Bauer against Bullock out there as the shot clock wound down.
Again, very surprising the Tennessee Martins calling off the pressure that has worked so effectively.
They did that the tail end of the first half and here early in the second. Worked to their advantage. Don's trying to get it back down to 1 possession.
2-man game between Hawkins and Simon.
So we go under 6 minutes. Carruthers to the basket, up and over and got it.
Nice move. Instead of taking that extra dribble and going in where there's a good chance that shot's going to be blocked, if you try to take it all the way to the glass, he pulled up from about 4 feet and got an unobstructed jumper.
Carruthers with 7.
Which is key. Now they're getting some scoring from somebody besides Simon and Pete Campbell.
Trying to get another stop now. George, the switch on the defense. Back out, Bullock, a long 3. Oh my! That one from about 24 feet away.
Bullock almost doubling his season average right now. He's got 18 points, and again, the 5 3-pointers. Every one of them a dagger.
He was scoreless at halftime. 0 for 4.
Bauer against the 5'8" player. He knows he can post him up.
Bauer gets it over George.
Tyler George is quick, but he's just not nearly as big or strong as Bauer. Bauer's got 8 inches on him.
He's got double figures now with 11. Down to 4.5 to go.
Dons need a stop.
Woodfork, the big man. He doesn't seem to know what he wants to do with it in the middle there. Newsom, he'll figure something out. Oh, he gets through to the front of the rim, missed it. Foul. Like Pete Campbell, the guilty party.
That was a really, really late whistle. Newsom got away with, he really used the left arm. It's sort of like a sledgehammer there to push off on the shot. And then I thought he did it again on the rebound. I was very surprised that they called that on camera.
2 shots. Fouled on that rebound shot. Newsom 1 out of 2 from the line tonight. Gets that one to fall.
You know, surprisingly, his style of game, Brad, guy who likes to take the ball to the basket, slashes, has only had, you know, now it'll be 4 free throw attempts.
He has managed to get himself into double figures. 2 for 2 there. So Tennessee Martin able to keep that margin back at 5.
It's a 2-possession game. Here comes the pressure.
Put it back on, get it into Simon.
Once again, Simon coming back to help.
Bauer will bring it up against Newson on the middle of the floor, deflected out.
Again, the overplay on the passing lanes.
Marcus Ford trying for the steal there.
They don't fast break a lot. If they get a steal, they're out there in a hurry.
Bauer again into Simon.
He's double teamed. Someone's open.
Taking a look. It's Pete Campbell at the top. Three misses off the front rim and a long rebound to Bullock.
He forced that one a bit. His feet weren't set very well.
Three more for Bullock. Oh, he hit it again. Are you kidding me?
6 out of 12 from three-point. This from a guy who doesn't even shoot 30%. He's shooting 50% tonight. He's got 21 points. More than doubling his season average.
21 all after the half. Carruthers fouled on his way to the basket.
Bullock has single-handedly given the lead to the Skyhawks. No question.
Unbelievable. 6 out of 9 shooting in the half. Timeout with 3:45 to go. Dons are down by 8. We take a break as well. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Hi. I was wondering if you wanted to go out maybe or something, if you had time.
I can tell by your excitable behavior and verbal faux pas that you have generalized anxiety with paranoid tendencies. It would never work.
Okay, thanks.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
This month on IPFW Up Close, we have a program that covers politics, new technology, and curing the blues. We'll learn who the real winners and losers were in the 2004 elections, how a new technology is allowing a local filmmaker to preserve her heritage, and how to recognize the signs of those holiday blues. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access, Channel 56.
Bullock has scored 21 points this half. 6 out of 9 on three-pointers. The Skyhawks had only 23 points in the entire first half. He's got 21 in 16 minutes and 15 seconds. 37 points total for Tennessee Martin this half.
Shooting the lights out, to say the least.
They're up to about 37% for the game. I know that doesn't sound great, but the Skyhawks were shooting 17% about 10 minutes into the game.
Team shooting 27% from three-point range all season. 7 out of 16 tonight.
Both teams have hit the same exact percentage of their shots. However, the Skyhawks have taken a lot more shots. They have 4 more field goals, and they have 3 more three-pointers.
So it's all starting to add up at this point. Carruthers hits the front end of the bonus. Second one on the way. Miss again. Good tip out, though. Simon, heady play there.
That was sharp. That's one of the coaches would like to take credit for drawing that up. We missed it on purpose so we can get another possession. Simon, nice pick. Bauer doesn't take advantage.
They get it down to Simon. Underneath. Loose ball now. Carter has it. There's a tie-up. Jump ball. Possession arrow to the Dons.
Did you see the Tennessee Martin players trying to call a timeout? Heads up by them, but they didn't get it quickly enough. Simon had already reached down. When Simon got that ball, he made the spin move. He was looking for the big dunk. Just didn't get a good handle on the ball after the spin move.
And the officials talking things over. Just making sure they're in agreement on the possession arrow.
Well,
yes.
They wanted to make sure on the reset of the shot clock, too, whether possession had gone over.
Correct. So Dons get a fresh 35. And they get it to Carruthers. 3:20 to go. Bauer thinking about it.
Bauer wanted the ball earlier. He was wide open for a three, but didn't get the ball quickly enough. By the time he got it, the defender had come over to his face. There's Campbell.
There's Pete Campbell. Got it. Big shot.
Maybe that'll wake him up for this half. The first points he had after 10 in the first half. He's up to 13. Still a two-possession game, though. Skyhawks 60-56.
3 out of 4 from behind the arc tonight for the young man from Yorktown. We go under 3 minutes. Newsom, pull-up jumper this time, miss.
Simon got him on the wrist just a little. And that, again, I'm not saying it's a bad call, but it's a late call. Call the foul when it occurs, not a second after.
David's 4th personal, 2:48 to go.
That's one of those that'll drive the coach crazy, too, because Newsom, he's not going to shoot the ball over David Simon that effectively. Simon just needs to stand in the way.
Newsom gets the free throw.
And all of a sudden, he's up 12 points on Allen Iverson-type shooting, 4 out of 14 from the field.
He kept just heaving it up early. Missed his first, I believe, 10 shots. And this is the second free throw.
No, he had the one dunk.
That's right, had the dunk early, then missed about 10 straight. So 5. We've been hovered right around that margin here for the last 6 or 7 minutes.
Here's
Bauer.
a two-man game, Bauer and Simon.
Trying to double team Simon, gets it, double team. Has to dribble out, cross court. Here's Pete Campbell again, short, rebound. Simon got it to the rack, and the foul, he'll go to the line.
David Simon ripped that rebound away from his teammate Quentin Butler, and it turned out to be a good thing that they were fighting over it. If Simon had got it cleanly, he probably would have gone straight back up for a dunk. This way, it took him an extra split second, and he got a foul. They need to fix the net, by the way, down at that end. See how it's all tangled up?
A little bit. Good
eye. They should fix that. Simon up to 19 points, now 14 rebounds, 4 blocks.
2 points, a chance for 3 here. 20. Yes, he's got it, and a 2-point game.
And Simon fixed the net by making the shot.
So 2:20 to go. 61-59. Don's down. Need a stop.
Fans getting into it now.
Good game down the stretch like this will liven up a crowd. Bullock, is he still feeling it? No. Rims out. Rebound on the floor. Look out there. Bauer and George. George got it and got the timeout.
That time he got it. Offensive rebounds. Offensive rebounds, Brad.
So the Skyhawks able to call themselves a 30-second timeout.
So we'll stay with you on this one. It's only a 30-second timeout.
61-59 on the hot hand of Earl Bullock. They've been able to get it done here, have the Skyhawks.
Key there, though, Brad, because there was a shot taken, they get a reset on the shot clock. And with just 2:01 left, possessions are very, very key right now. The Dons theoretically can only get the ball another couple of times.
Team fouls are 8 for IPFW, so it'll be just a 1-and-1 on the next foul. Dons are in the double bonus already.
Very, very important right now for the Dons to not commit a stupid foul. You don't want to give them a free chance at the basket. Make them take a shot. I can't stress that enough. But you have to let them take a shot. Can't give them any free points at this point of the game, because if you get the ball back without giving them a couple of easy free throws, well, then you got a chance to tie or take the lead.
Bauer almost got a hand on it on the inbound there. He and Bullock. Well, they're talking it out. They're just having a nice matchup there. See those guys throwing some elbows at each other, and the lips are moving, and they just want to go at it. 2 minutes, 2-point game.
Bullock thought about pulling the trigger on that three there, but at this point of the game, you want to use some of the clock.
Still have 22 on the shot clock. Bullock running down off his foot, out of bounds.
Great double team by the Dons. First, it was a great switch up top. Quentin Carruthers went with the little guy, and then Quentin Butler came over to seal the baseline, and there was nowhere for Tyler George to go except in trouble.
Minute 46. Bauer, Carruthers, Butler, Simon, and Pete Campbell, the 5 on the floor for Coach Doug Knoll. Pete Campbell comes out to get it now. Dons setting it up, back inside. Simon fronted there, the extra pass. Butler up, can't get it, tipped out. Lewis the board.
Butler 0 for 6 tonight. Very, very unusual.
Another good look by David Simon on the extra pass, but can't convert for IPFW.
And once again, you don't want to send Tennessee Martin to the free throw line right now, because 2 points at the free throw line makes it a 2-possession game.
Down to our final minute. They get it inside and tipped away in a steal.
Butler with the steal that time. He made up for missing the layup by causing the turnover. Timeout. You got it.
Coach Knoll, 53.8. Dons down by 2. We'll take another break as well and come back. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best. And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
This month on IPFW Up Close, we have a program that covers politics, new technology, and curing the blues. We'll learn who the real winners and losers were in the 2004 elections, how a new technology is allowing a local filmmaker to preserve her heritage, and how to recognize the signs of those holiday blues. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access, Channel 56.
On the inbound after the timeout.
Want to get a shot pretty quickly here, so if you don't score, you know you'll get the ball back.
And the turnover in front of the scorer's table. Carruthers and Pete Campbell kind of got their wires crossed there.
Pete Campbell tried picking up the ball and calling a timeout. However, he stepped on the line.
So 46.2 seconds. Coach Knoll will take a 30 to talk defense with his team.
Brad, again, with this much time left, you don't want to foul Tennessee Martin. You'd rather make them earn the 2 points by making a basket as opposed to sending him to the line.
Still time to get it back and have another possession.
I was surprised on that one. I thought as soon as Pete Campbell got the ball up top that he would look inside to David Simon, because the offense has been rolling through him tonight. Send it inside. When he gets double teamed, he makes the pass out, but they just didn't get a chance to get it inside there. Wires were definitely crossed, like you said.
Seeing some of the fans out here at Memorial Coliseum tonight. Don's back home on December 23rd for their next home game. Maine, another quality opponent coming here to the Coliseum.
The Black Bears, not the Lobsters or the Streets.
Depends where you're at. Someone up there's calling them the Lobsters. Skyhawks, 43 seconds and a 2-point lead. Tyler George with the basketball. He and Bullock been running the point here, and Bullock's been the man in the second half.
Almost got a 5-second closely guarded call.
Carruthers trying to hound him on the defense. George just dribbling around. 15 on the shot clock now, 25 on the game.
It's like the Harlem Globetrotters.
George still with it. Gets it out to Newsom now, 8 to shoot.
He'll shoot.
Gets a screen, comes in, puts it up, got it.
Big shot.
14 seconds left.
That's your leading scorer right there. Dons might want to take a 3-pointer here.
Down to 9 seconds, 4-point game. Bauer puts it up.
Not even close.
Air ball. Carruthers, he steps out. Blocked by Newsom. 2.7.
For a guy having a horrible game in the last couple of minutes, he's made a couple of big plays, Newsom.
Bauer coming up gimpy on an ankle.
You can hear Brett Campbell, the coach of Tennessee Martin, yelling at his players, don't foul, don't foul.
Coach Knoll going to take a timeout.
That's a full one.
Try and figure out what to do. 30-second timeout. That's all that's left for IPFW. So try and draw something up here to generate 4 points in 2.7 seconds.
You have to try to score any way possible as quickly as possible. So I look for them to go inside, try to get a layup, call timeout, say 2.7 if you can do it in just over a second. As soon as Tennessee Martin gets the ball, you follow the first guy who gets it. If they get only one of the 2 free throws, you have a chance. If they hit them both, it's not going to matter.
So it'll be Carruthers to throw it in on the sideline. Coach Campbell setting his defense.
He doesn't really want to play much defense here. He'll let him shoot a wide open three-pointer or wide open anything.
Throw it up around the basket. Simon gets the dunk. Now the clock ran down to about 0.8 of a second. They're going to run that back up. 1.5 they say.
1.5.
So that cuts it to 2. Take a moment here to reset the clock. Coach Campbell will take that time to bring in a couple of guards.
Now they've got it to 0.1.
Now they're just bringing everybody.
Now they've got it, right?
There's 1-5. Got to go for the steal. Going to send somebody down the court, I imagine. Officials chatting it up.
I'm Tennessee Martin Brown. I just throw the ball, throw it in the back court, tip the ball up in the air. It doesn't matter. And remember, the guy can run the baseline on a play here.
Just getting a handle on where the clock is.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try to. I don't have it for that play. I don't have it there. I don't have with the clock, no.
The officials coming over to the table to check and see if we have the exact time left on the clock from when the ball went through the bucket on David Simon's foul, or basket, excuse me. Because they are allowed to check it at this point of the game. That's one of the rules. That's how Brett Campbell, the coach, is complaining that the Dons are huddling up during all this. Saying
The officials, they went with 1.5. They were looking for perhaps a replay with the time on it there. Dump it in, get it, and a foul. Runs it down to 7/10 to go.
Yeah, if Newsom hits both of these free throws, doesn't matter, because that's a 4-point game. Even if he were to miss one, it would take a miracle heave to tie it up. And you almost hope, if he only makes 1 out of the 2, Brad, that he misses the first shot, makes the second, because then the clock's not running.
Well, it's a 1 in bonus, so actually he misses the front end. That ball's in play. So let's see. Puts it up, missed it. Simon throws it down the court. Wide right, and that'll do it. 63-61 will be the margin. Tennessee Martin with a big second half from guard Earl Bullock. Pull out the victory on the road by 2 points. We'll take a timeout, total up the numbers, come back with our post game here from the Coliseum. After another break, you're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
What's ahead for the future of Northeast Indiana? One answer lies with the graduates of our fine area colleges and universities. Hi, I'm Phil Laux, president of the Greater Fort Wayne Chamber of Commerce. And when you support an area college or university, you support the economic growth and development of where we live. Graduates of these higher education institutions are working hard to grow our local economy. I urge you to support your area university or college with your time, your talent, and your treasure Our college grads are a vital part of Northeast Indiana's continued success.
Back here to Memorial Coliseum. Brad Brown and Randy Schiffman back here with you. 63-61. The Dons fall by 2 points to Tennessee Martin tonight, and we just really saw a game here that the Dons handled well, and then it looks like the Skyhawks just kind of woke up, and there they were making a run in the second half.
2 words, Earl Bullock.
Right.
He went off in the second half. Scored 21 points, all in the second half. Misses only three-pointers in the first half. Hits 6 out of 9 in the second half. This is from a guy who shoots 28% on the season. Exactly what IPFW didn't expect.
So they made the big run there, went up by as many as 7. Dons had a couple of opportunities there in the final minute, but came up short. And you take a look at a game like this, and you can look up and down all the numbers you want. It's going to come back to that turnovers each time.
That's right. The Dons turned the ball over 21 times, only a dozen turnovers for the Skyhawks.
Okay, we're going to take another quick timeout. We got Coach Doug Knoll coming in. We'll talk to him after this break. You're watching IPFW basketball on UPN Fort Wayne.
Are you in there? What's up? The show's at 7. Whoa.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
What's ahead for the future of Northeast Indiana? One answer lies with the graduates of our fine area colleges and universities. Hi, I'm Phil Laux, president of the Greater Fort Wayne Chamber of Commerce. And when you support an area college or university, you support the economic growth and development of where we live. Graduates of these higher education institutions are working hard to grow our local economy. I urge you to support your area university or college with your time, your talent, and your treasure. Our college grads are a vital part of Northeast Indiana's continued success.
This month on IPFW Up Close, we have a program that covers politics, new technology, and curing the blues. We'll learn who the real winners and losers were in the 2004 elections, how a new technology is allowing a local filmmaker to preserve her heritage, and how to recognize the signs of those holiday blues. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access, Channel 56.
And we're back here at Memorial Coliseum on our postgame. Coach Doug Knoll joining us now. 2-point loss. Let's start with the positives first, though. David Simon with another great night tonight. You take a look at his stat line with 21 points and 14 rebounds to go along. What are we looking at? 22 and 14 to go along with that. And he continues to play very well.
Well, Brad, I think, he's just getting more comfortable each and every game. He's getting more explosiveness, in the bad knee. And I think, as we get through another couple weeks, I think you're going to see Dave back to 90-95%, and that's pretty good.
If I would have told you that Earl Bullock was the guy who was going to beat you before tonight's game, that he was going to hit 6 3-pointers, scored 21 points in the second half, would you have told me that was nuts?
Well, we knew he could score, we knew he could shoot, but he just got hot. He hit some from deep. Those were Bo Bauer shots that Bo hit Tuesday night. And, we just did not come out second half with the intensity and the fire that we really needed, and we let them back in, and then it was back and forth. They built a lead, I think maybe up to 6 or 7, and it was just too hard to overcome because, our offense was kind of stagnant tonight, Randy.
And the other night, not Bo Bauer shot the ball well, but Quentin Butler and David Simon seemed to mesh pretty well. Tonight, they just never seemed to fit right, though Butler had a couple of shots that normally, I said earlier, I think he makes them blindfolded.
Yeah, and I don't know what the problem is right now with him, but it looked like when he got it underneath, he was in a hurry, and then he was looking around for who was around instead of just taking it up strong. And I think that was his biggest problem, where there was 2 or 3 layups that he missed that obviously with a 2-point loss, we could have used tonight.
Do you maybe have to create some more chances for Pete Campbell? He's really been shooting the ball well the last couple of games.
Yeah, he did. You know, I was pleased with the way he came out tonight. You know, he'd been up and down each game, and we were trying to get him consistent, and so he's come off a 16-point game this week and now a 13. Yeah, we really do. We need to try to get him, but also he's got to catch ready because, you know, the perimeter is so quick right now with the guys who are on defense, and they're going to get his number, and they're not, you know, he's going to be a catch and shoot guy, and what you want to do is just jam him, make him put it on the floor, and as a defensive player, you know, this was late in the half, and I don't know if this one missed. He just didn't catch it low enough to get his rhythm right there. Dave got fouled and followed that one up nicely, but you know, Pete did a nice job tonight, even though he missed that last one.
Coach, with the turnover numbers, you know, coaches can try to explain that in any way, shape, or form. Is that just a matter of focus with your team?
I really think so. You know, anytime we have big turnovers, obviously you have a hard time to win the game because, you know, we lost by 2, but 21 times we didn't get a shot. And even shooting 35, 36%, if you can cut them in half, you know, you're going to score another 8, 9, 10 points. And so that's what got us tonight, the turnovers. We did not take care of the basketball. That was our first and foremost again.
And a lot of those turnovers came off of the press. You guys seem to have trouble handling the press, especially in the first half.
Well, and then, you know, we had guys cutting, and late in the game we drew up a play, and they denied Bo. And so all we needed to do was have Quentin Carruthers just clear out, loop to the other side, and Pete dribble over, and he didn't do it. I mean, you know, he didn't know what to do at that point, but you got to improvise a little bit. If the first guy can't get it, just run the play, even if you're in a different position, and that's youth. I mean, we got some sophomores out there, and, you know, Dave's the only senior, so we're going to make some mistakes and youthful mistakes. We just give him a couple days off. Tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, we may have a few individual workouts. That's it, because we have finals next week.
Sure.
And go to Butler on Saturday.
Real quick, trip to Butler next Saturday. What's, you know, pick one thing when you get back to practice middle of next week that's going to be where you start with working on for the Bulldogs.
Take care of the basketball, first and foremost, and probably all week. Because if you know, I'm not sure how many turnovers we had at Utah State, but I think it was maybe 10, 11 in that area. Sure. That gives you a plethora of opportunity that we didn't have tonight. So that, you know, takes your game from 60 points into the 70s, and it creates the offense and makes it a lot easier. And if we could have got Dave, you know, those post touches on half those turnovers, I know he would have scored probably 60% of the time.
Okay, Coach, best of luck to you next Saturday, and good effort tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Coach Doug Knoll joining us on the postgame. One more break, back with the final stats after this here on UPN Fort Wayne.
Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
What's ahead for the future of Northeast Indiana? One answer lies with the graduates of our fine area colleges and universities. Hi, I'm Phil Laux, president of the Greater Fort Wayne Chamber of Commerce. And when you support an area college or university, you support the economic growth and development of where we live. Graduates of these higher education institutions are working hard to grow our local economy. I urge you to support your area university or college with your time, your talent, and your treasure. Our college grads are a vital part of Northeast Indiana's continued success.
This month on IPFW Up Close, we have a program that covers politics, new technology, and curing the blues. We'll learn who the real winners and losers were in the 2004 elections, how a new technology is allowing a local filmmaker to preserve her heritage, and how to recognize the signs of those holiday blues. Join me, Susan Alderman, for IPFW Up Close, Sundays at noon on College Cable Access, Channel 56.
final wrap-up here from Memorial Coliseum, 63-61. The Tennessee Martin Skyhawks come in and kind of steal one away here with a pretty good run in the second half tonight.
And you could just hear the disappointment in Coach Doug Knoll's voice. I mean, they won the game against Utah State. Big win, probably the biggest win since becoming a Division I team. Played great for over half of this game. Seemingly had everything in control, and then it just... Earl Bullock started hitting three-pointers.
And that was the difference.
Whoosh, there it went.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at some of the final numbers on tonight's contest, as really when you look at the stats from this contest, it was pretty even, about as even as the score is.
And in some of the key ones, IPFW looks like the winner. In field goals, pretty much the same. Three-pointers, well, a couple of more. Assists, neither team doing very well on the assists. Dons with 6 blocks, 4 more blocks than Skyhawks had, and 8 more rebounds, and shot free throws very well.
Yeah, take 72% from the line on any night.
But the one number that's not up there, 21 turnovers.
And out of those 21, 11 steals for Tennessee Martin. So the defense, particularly when they had that press on early in the second half, getting it done.
21 turnovers to only 12 for the Skyhawks, who've been turning it over 19 times a game. That's the difference right there, 9 possessions.
Leading scorers real quick for you. David Simon, 22 and 14 rebounds, leads the way for the Dons. Pete Campbell in double figures with 13. Bo Bauer had 11, so a solid night for that trio. But Earl Bullock, as we said, 21 points, all in the second half here this evening.
Killed them.
Their leading scorer, James Newsom, had just 14, but a good portion of that in the second half as well. So.
And down the stretch when they needed him, he made a couple of key baskets and free throws.
Made that shot in the final seconds to put them up by 4 and seal the deal for Tennessee Martin. Upcoming games for the Dons, they've got a tough road to hoe here for the rest of the month of December.
Butler Bulldogs.
Butler got to go to Hinkle Fieldhouse on Saturday of next week, the 18th, and then a trip to Bowling Green on the 21st.
A team looking for revenge because Bowling Green lost here last year.
And then our next game on UPN Fort Wayne coming up on December the 23rd, Thursday night, right before Christmas holiday. They're here at the Coliseum. And Channel 56 for our viewers on Comcast. They'll have a women's basketball game. The Lady Dons taking on Belmont. That'll be next Saturday as well. 1 o'clock there from the Gates Center. So we want to say thanks again to Coach Knoll for joining us on our post game tonight. Thanks to Rudy Jovich and his crew down here courtside, and our entire crew at Channel 56 and at Comcast Cable for all their help here at getting us hooked up at Memorial Coliseum tonight. For Randy Schiffman and our entire crew at UPN Fort Wayne, I'm Brad Brown. Dons fall 63-61 to Tennessee Martin. We'll see you back here in about a week and a half. Until then, have a great night.
Have a good weekend.
This telecast of IPFW Mastodon Basketball has been a production of IPFW Athletics in conjunction with UPN Fort Wayne.